Wow, everyone, check out Bitcoin. Here's a chart for it. It's John. I'm on my news trading desk here and prop trading desk. Bitcoin pivots back down from 108,000 and then does a dippy dip to below 103,000. So it's like thousands of points of dip. I bought the dip this morning while I was asleep, but we'll talk about that in a minute. First, a legal disclaimer: information provided, informational purposes only, not financial advice, etc. Read the risk disclosure. All right, that's done. So here's what we got. So my daily report, you can listen to this while you're driving. So Bitcoin, all right, I set my pivot points. I got a fill this morning at 1:45 in the morning. And, so I was able to purchase such on the dip at 1:45 a.m. And it's just incredible. Got incredible news stories that are transpiring. The new secret, magic pivot point numbers updated last night. So here's the cheat sheet, Bitcoin traders cheat sheet, for Wednesday, December 18th. Okay, so I use this to identify support and resistance levels. So I had limit GTC orders last night, and I cancel all my orders and then reset the pivot point. So Bitcoin now is less than the pivot point. So that means these are econometric magnets that Bitcoin wants to travel to economically. So it's like a gridiron. If you play football, the pivot point is the 50-yard line in a sense. And so anything greater than this, is this team's going this way, or if it's less than the pivot point, the gridiron is going to the support levels. Pivots between support and resistance. So a lot of the news headlines today, I go over geopolitical news and socioeconomic news, and then I look at a trading plan for myself. So let's look what's being reported on bar chart. S&P futures off fractionally. Crude oil is up about 1%. The VIX is off 1%. Gold bullion again, off about 7-8 points, at 26.54. So we got, today's FOMC day. So we got to look at stock index futures gain with all eyes on the Fed rate decision. Pardon me. So FOMC's, the Federal Reserve, are they going to lower interest rates? So here's the news headlines. Stock market today, Wall Street is stuck in neutral ahead of the Federal Reserve rate decision. Can't fight the Fed. China's CATL is planning a major expansion of battery swapping for electric vehicles. Iran's Rail hits a record low, battered by regional tensions and energy crisis. So I follow the three energy dividend stocks. General Motors stock prediction: can GM continue to grow, to go up? Can Tesla stock keep its year-end rally going into 2025? Is Nvidia stock cooling off or poised to hit 220 in 2025? Amerisports is worldwide. So, I just look at the geopolitical news and then socioeconomic news. Again, if you stay with me to the end, you receive a bonus, which is my trading and speculation plan. It's not investment advice, but check this out. So let's look at the major market. S&P stock market just opened up about 15 minutes ago. S&P minis off about 6 points. NASDAQ E-mini off about 70 points. The Dow Jones futures they're up about 64 points. The VIX at 16.90. The US dollar, the Dixie, up at 106.710. The 10-year, looking at the yield at 109-290. Crude oil, again, off. It's like $70, $71. Gold is off $7. So, and then let's look at the major market leaders in the stock market. Tesla active, Nvidia is active, Meta Platforms is active, Facebook, Microsoft, Mr. Softy is active. Again, Quantum Qbits, QUBT, and then Rigetti. There's a lot of work going on right now in research and stock market shifting into the qubit and quantum computing. So Google's got a new computer chip for quantum computing, Microsoft Azure. So the whole world is kind of shifting over into this new process of quantum computing. MicroStrategy is off 2%. Rigetti Computer, see, it's active. This stock's up about 1,000% in the last year. Affirm Holdings is active. United Health Group is up 2%, and then Palantir is active. So these are the news stories. I'll scroll this very slowly because I know it's, you don't want to look at it. So this is what's being reported on bar chart. So let's take a look. All right, resistance and point. Okay, these numbers, these are the secret magic numbers. Again, the pivot point for today on Bitcoin is 106,674, and that's for December 18th, 2024. So I have limit GTC orders. I bought the dip this morning, again, 145 at 103,917, and then it pumped about 1,000 points, and I sold some Bitcoin. I don't go all in and all out. Plus a dollar cost average Bitcoin every day. So with that, I placed, after I traded out of the pivot point trade and made about 1,000 point pivot, I then replaced another order to purchase Bitcoin again at the second support level. And I still have in effect the third support level trade at 102,365. Again, this isn't financial advice, it's just entertainment. I'm an entertainer. So those are the pivot points. So let's look at this, how it plays out on the chart. This is a 5-minute chart. So each bar here represents 5 minutes. Again, Bitcoin tends to pivot from the demand zone down here. It's momentum swing, and then it swings back up to the supply zone. So yesterday we had a nice dip, like 2,000 points. I didn't purchase it. So this morning, again, this is like about right around here, I have my pivot point trades set, and then I purchased Bitcoin on the dippy dip inside of the demand zone at pivot point 2 at 103,917. So that would be like about right here as it plunged in price, and then it met my demand zone pivot points and went lower, and then looked, and the buy signal came in at a higher price. So that was a nice trade, about 1,000 points. When I woke up this morning, it was pumping, and I said, well, I'll take a trade out of it and take some nice profit. So I got, again, limit orders to purchase the market at 104,232. So I'm ready to, bow down here again. If the market dips, then we'll purchase the Bitcoin market again at the pivot point, which is, again, 103,917, and then the pivot point I'll purchase definitely above, greater than 106,674. So that's what I have for today for the pivot points. So again, today is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Exciting news, lots going on. Everything waits today because of interest rates. So we're excited about interest rates. Why is the Dow in a historic funk? So this is being reported on Yahoo Finance. The blue chip index is suddenly in the midst of its worst losing streak in 50 years. What's behind it? All right, and then the news, the Dow looks to snap longest skid since 1978 with the Fed on deck. And it says here the Fed could be on the verge of ripping up its 2025 rate script. Nvidia, AI revolution, why Nvidia's Blackwell chip leads. Analysts, despite slump, Nvidia is on course for $5 trillion valuation. This China stock shock behind the Honda Nissan merger, So we got merger news with autos. Big tech dominates again. Altman-backed 𝐂𝐏𝐿 surges after agreement with data centers. So big data stocks. A lot of news with quantum computing and data centers. So that's where the money flow is going into. Nike earnings, what to watch. Investor look for a turnaround on Nike shares. Biden reignites talk of stock trading ban for Congress. Gosh, what's Nancy Pelosi going to do? So, U.S. current account deficit hits record high. Stock futures waver and countdown to Fed decision. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today on the 18th, we'll know. Nova Holding completes a $16.5 billion takeover. Honda, Nissan news again. EU approves €1.3 billion Italian state aid for new chip plant. So amazing news there. Brazil trades, sell first, ask later as panic hits market. So I'm looking at, I don't give financial advice, but I'm looking at the sell-off in the Brazil stock exchange. There's an ETF, EWZ, with the real and panic. Brazil is part of the BRICS, so there could be some value there in stock shares that are based in the Brazilian economy. So I'm doing some research there on buying the dip on Brazil stocks. RXO, putting the right people in the right place. Hong Kong builder, New World asks for banks to extend loans. So I read the news every day, on these markets. And then 2 p.m., man, what do we got here? Top gainers, Quantum Computing up 35%, Qubit, D-Wave again, Nissan Motors is up, 𝐂𝐏𝐿, Ookla Inc. is up big. Losers, Viking Therapeutics, 𝐓𝐘𝐄 is off. So this is the most active stocks. Rigetti Computer again in the quantum space, up 1,000% the last year. Quantum Computer, D-Wave Quantum, Nvidia is active, and SoundHound is active. Very active, very volatile stocks being rocking and rolling here in the quantum computing space. So AI, artificial intelligence, etc. So top story picks, Microsoft, Monday Inc., IBP, and Comfort Systems and Applied Materials. And then looking at the stocks that are most active again, you got Rigetti Computer, Quantum Computer, D-Wave, Qbits, Nvidia, and SoundHound. So this is, and then look at undervalued growth stocks, GM, Energy Transfer Partners, Apache, Kingross Gold, and Laureate Education. So those are the news headlines being reported on Yahoo Finance. So again, let's take a look at the pivot points. Livermore said whenever I had the patience to wait for the pivot point, I always made money in my speculations. So this morning, while I was asleep, I had the pivot point fill at 103,917, and I'll show you visually on the chart. So now Bitcoin is trading at 103,910. So I might get a fill. I might have just purchased the market again at the pivot point of 917. So I'll have to check that in a minute. And then I'm looking to, so I purchase the market like this. At the pivot point, I purchased it here at the pivot point at the 50-yard line. Then I'll talk in dollar terms, like $1 here, and then $1 here, $2 here at the second support level, and then $3 here at the third support. If it trades less than the third support point, Livermore would short that and adding to a winning short position because it's less than the pivot point. So we shall see. We might have a nice dippy dip down where I get a price fill at the third support level at 102,365.74. And we can see, the market's now at 103,947. So that's, that's what we have. This market, I wanted to place orders down here. Here's the resistance up here. The supply zone is up here, and then it pivots back down. So I only place orders, limit GTC, with between here and here. I don't care about the price. I just want to purchase the market on the dippy dip at the pivot points. And then here it goes here, and then pivots back up. And now it looks like it wants to retrace and go back into the pivot zones. So we shall see. FOMC, you can't fight the Fed. So let's see what we have for the Fed rate decision, see what's going to go on with it. Again, here's the magic secret numbers for the pivot points today. The traders' cheat sheets updated. We'll get another update probably this afternoon based on key turning points in Bitcoin. So that's what I have for today. Trends, my friend, took a nice 1,000-point pivot point trade this morning while I was sleeping. let's see if we get the interest rates that Wall Street wants. So everyone, that's what I have for today. Great day. Have an awesome, wonderful day. Remember, let the trend be your friend. It's John on my news desk and prop trading desk. Thanks. Have a great day, everyone.